13 days, whatever. I'm up to tier 9, and I happened to get a whole bunch of premium time from like when you start the account, and then I think I got some more premium time from like a super container maybe. Anyway, got pretty lucky there. So it's been interesting, but I've been trying to see it from the free to play side and see, you know, is it working? Is it fun? Is it doable? Is it all the things?
Aishin and Razgriz, we actually have heard you guys mention that. We've heard other people mention this as well, and folks have been asking for a button to not automatically remount eco bonuses when they are used. There's a button to not automatically purchase more for doubloons or for credits, but there's not one to avoid automatically just replacing one. Let's say replace. So we did hear that, and we've moved that feedback up to the folks that matter.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Well, okay, if you're just going to ask me directly then. But
is there some other way of finding out what your idea is?
No, I don't know. Well, so my idea was, well, the concern was, let's not clutter up the interface. Let's not put all kinds of stuff there that has to be deciphered and dealt with and up and down and whatnot. Okay, so if you add a single button, maybe next to the auto purchase area or where the remove all thing would be, that's just like single use. You just click the thing, and then single use after the end of the match, it dismounts. So that would be...
That's an option.
Hopefully it wouldn't clutter too much. Oh, by the way, the Shimas around here, I'm detected.
Okay. I am a big fat French battleship, so I'm gonna
probably
go fast in a forward direction.
You might have short range torps. Those feel kind of zippy.
Those are a little zippy for a Shima.
Yeah.
That's a zippy little buddy. Oh, gotcha there, Mr. Montana. Nice to meet
you. How you doing, bro? Pretty close. Oh, that's a lot of torps from the south. I think... You know, I don't know if I outrun that, actually. Ooh, okay, I do. That's nice. Just say no.
Will the Habakkuk ever enter the game? Actually, I don't know if you guys remember, but we did a April Fool's joke where we actually suggested that we would be adding the Habakkuk into the game. Those of you that don't know, the Habakkuk was an idea created by the British military in their infinite wisdom and seemingly infinite creativity during World War II, where they thought, hey, we're going to make a giant unsinkable aircraft carrier out of a substance called picrete, which was, sucks to be you, which was basically a combination of sawdust and ice. They were like, I have a great idea. That is to create the strangest aircraft carrier ever conceived.
Wasn't that an April Fool's joke?
Yeah, sort of.
I'm running at 130% efficiency right now.
It's okay.
I'm so far into the future. I'm into next week.
To be frank,
Zoom.
I wouldn't listen to me either.
Well, I'm listening. It's just processing. I don't know. Like, you know, sometimes the RAM gets choked up and your processor just chugs or whatever. I mean, good news. I blew up a Delarna. I detonated him. Hey, I contributed. Contributed more to the game with a random detonation than I did to the conversation the entire match.
It's just fine.
So there's still a Schultz here. There's still a Shima.
Get him. You guys might notice the Patrie has a 26.6 kilometer gun range standard, which is that's a lot, man. It's a very, very long range. So I'm trying to take various shots that this is out here. I'm trying to correct my aiming for his quick. I'm trying to correct my aiming for his possible maneuvering. 12 431 millimeter guns is quite a bit.
I think I could kind of work on the Monty now.
I think this Monty's about to be his match. Oof. More, please. Yeah, if the Patrie is interesting because just like the Reaper, just like a lot of the other French battleships, he's got she's got like a 32mm skin, let's call it that, where the entire boat is covered in 32mm. So it's very, very vulnerable to a lot of HE from battleships, as well as get overmatched by all the other super battleships, including the Hanover and the Satsuma. However, thankfully, it's not overmatched by itself.
That's a lot of torque. IP Montana.
Unless you flew up against another battery, it means the super overmatched your entire resistance. This was a criticism saying that they very fast. That's part of it, and it has an excellent turtleback. So while, yes, the other battleship may, in fact, have a distinct advantage over you in that way, you have a much greater control over the map, I would say, in a country than you do in a Hanover, for instance.
Something just because CV related, because you're getting bombed there at the end. Oh my goodness. There are two other super battleships. One of those is the Satsuma, which is analogous to the Yamato, which can be citadeled by Richthofen fairly easily.
Yep.
And the other one is the Hanover, same thing with German turtleback, it kind of just eats those pens. Whereas French battleships, because they have a citadel that's right down the line and it's covered by superstructure and guns, extremely hard to get citadels into. So while you might be not the tankiest against those oversized, overmatchy shells, you are certainly protected from AP citadels from bombs.
Yeah, it's got a lot of superstructure too, getting in the way there. Conception, if you don't mind throwing to my screen, I'm going to pull up the patrie in the Marseille port. I'm going to show these folks a little bit about what they're looking like if they decide to auction for the patrie. If you don't decide to auction for the patrie, it will be available in the tech tree like all other super ships. It's 2 months or 3 months? 3 months, right?
I think 11.9 is when the Edgar and the Patrie.
Enter the tech tree.
Yes, when they become available for all to get.
Got it. So if you do want it, but you don't want to bid credits on it, just be a little bit patient. Wait, it'll be right out.
Yeah, very similar to early access, because when something comes out in early access, it usually has 2 patches. Then it's downtime, and then it's available in like the patch after.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
So this is what we were talking about earlier when we were saying that the entire boat is covered in 32mm of armor. Again, that's just like the Jean Bart, the Richelieu, the Repub, the Bourgogne, same concept. So it is pretty vulnerable to guns that are 460mm or higher, and it's vulnerable to HE. However, it's very, very fast. And as Askans was pointing out to me earlier, it has a very, very hefty turtleback. So it has a 420mm plate as the main armor belt. Its turtleback is a further 90mm of sloped armor. And then, of course, you've got the standard 55mm torpedo bulkhead, which means you're looking at like close to 600mm of like effective armor.
Yeah.
Blocking a citadel. If you're very few things are going to be able to citadel this. Like maybe I think Slavas can do that at certain ranges. Slavas have like 800mm of pen out to like 6 or 7 kilometers or something crazy like that. But
goodness,
very few battleships will be able to citadel this ship, unless of course you get that little sweet spot right under the front turret at an angle. But that's not easy. On the other hand, with the standard assignment that I have for it here, it does a maximum of 32.6 knots, which is respectable, although not incredible for a battleship. But again, with that speed boost, that adds an extra 15%, which basically means you get another 4.6 knots.
Zoom.
Puts you up to about 37, which for a ship armed with this many guns, it's pretty damn fast.
It's not Georgia. It's not Georgia speed, but it ain't slow.
Yeah.
Not slow.
Not slow at all. And you can set it up pretty much like any other normal battleship if you want. I would not recommend personally going for a skill like Brisk on the Patrie just because you have a very high ceiling, 14 flat. You're you're not going to be able to get to use Brisk very often. But you could play around with a few of these other things. Mainly what you want your guns to be able to shoot all the time. You shoot very quickly, you shoot lots of guns, and you shoot them very, very accurately with good ballistics. You want to be at range, just lighting stuff on fire and smacking cruisers with your big guns. So it's fun, it's sporty, and the funnels look like bunny ears. And if that's not interesting to you, what are you even doing on the internet? That's my question, really. Would you tell us about the Aquila, please? I like the Aquila.
Aquila. All right, I can bring that up. Give me a moment. I was thinking we were going to sail forth in the Edgar and do
I guess we
Edgar
should.
stuff.
Maybe we should do that, and then we'll talk about the Aquila later. We'll do the first 2 super ships.
Can do that. There we go.
Is it Aquila or Aquila?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I always think of tequila, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Aquila. But
Fair enough.
I don't know because I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, so then Askans and I will play another match here. Maybe we should take some questions and just chat with the chat. It's nice to see you guys. It's nice to see you guys. We haven't talked in a while. How have you been? Let's see.
Oh, buddy.
I'm glad I can still make it laugh.
Let's yeah. How are you?
I think the economic bonuses should be on the equipment page, not hidden under the captain's. This is actually a common piece of feedback that we've got, is the placement of the economic bonus drop-down menu under the captain's. So that is something that we've passed along to the developers to consider maybe adjusting where it is. So we take your point.
What is Bogsy's favorite drink? Bogsy used to be a bartender, so he knows a lot about drinks.
My favorite drink is an old-fashioned. An old-fashioned is bourbon whiskey with a little bit of sugar, usually in the form of a mixed-up crushed sugar cube, and then a couple dashes of aromatic bitters. And you take an orange peel, twist the orange peel so that it spritzes out all the orange oil into the drink. Rub that around the lip of the glass. If you can, you put one big fat giant ice cube in the center. If you don't have it, a couple small cubes. It is delightful. It's very classy if you are somebody who likes a classy drink.
Did you guys mention something about 12v12 tier 6 battleships? In 11.7, that is one of the brawls. That is the first of the 3 brawls, is the 12v12 tier 6 battleship. Wow, that's going to be crazy. Will Commonwealth ship line ever be added to naval battles? Typically, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but naval battles are with tech tree lines. And I don't think we have a tech tree that we have in the game, but we don't have a Commonwealth tech tree line. So
Not yet.
yeah, I think we got a few, but I don't think we actually have like earnable non-premiums.
No, not a line. How about a common page for reviewing all commanders and dismissing unwanteds? MJR Hard Ticket, that's a great question and suggestion. This is something that we've talked about internally about how to reorganize and redo the, I guess you'd call it the barracks, maybe? Reserve for captains.
Yes.
We're banding around some ideas on that.
The natural follow. When are we getting a tech tree at World of Warships? Well, I am here to announce that I don't have anything to announce about that, so I'm not going to be able to give you a cool thing on that line. So yeah.
Are you guys sitting side by side in the same room? Yes. Oh, I can! I got it! That was a very Commonwealthy answer. Yes, and Conception is actually sensation. He's here to make
He's
sure
hidden behind the screen.
Reporting the target position.
He's here to make sure
Although
we
I think he might have X-ray vision, so if he does, then he can see us just fine. I
think he has
can't see
X-ray
him.
vision because he can see the 2 cameras that are pointed at our faces.
Well, so would that be X-ray vision? I don't know. If it was like, if there were optical cables, then theoretically maybe there'd be a little extra band transmission-ish, maybe. But I mean, it's just electric.
Are there any new super ships to teach?
The Edgar.
Well, there's the Edgar. There's the Edgar and the Petri. There are 2 others in testing currently. You can actually read about them on our dev blog. We can't really talk about how they play or what they do yet. We can tell you sort of what their characteristics are because those characteristics are listed in the dev blog. There's the Larna would be the logical pan-European destroyer territory, and then the Clausewitz. Can't say it without kind of. I think it's Clausewitz. The Clausewitz is a super ship for the German heavy cruiser. Excuse me. So there's those 2 as well. We can't really talk too much about them because they are in testing and they are subject to change. But you can go to our dev blog and you can see all the information.
I see 2 questions. When will either of you be on Grafer's podcast again? I was on it once. He invited me. It took a few months, but he got me on, so I was on it then. I think I may have been while I was on it, so that made for some. Another thing is, how are we intending to British points, British tokens, I guess, needed to form a line on blocks. So, if you're going to play a game, as such, there are things you can get in the event if you stay. So there's a which allows you to earn, I believe it's the tier 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the 7 comes with a commemorative flag. Then you can also earn so that means that specific visual that you made for this event you can get for the tier 8, and that is the extent of the free British tokens. You can also use them instead for economic bonuses. You can use them instead for credits. I don't think there are other options. But in terms of if you wanted to get all the stuff, all the more stuff, then that's where you would get British tokens from the doubloons off of the random bundle. And there was one other question here, which this is a little bit of a longer question, but this is from Aishan, who is a fairly active person out in the Twitch space. With Hydro being split into 2 consumables, can we get something other than DCP to clear pings? Perhaps on a separate timer, so it doesn't feel like a penalty for certain Soviet and German battleships. The way that you need to look at that is, or rather, let me say, the way that we're looking at that is Damage Con prevents damage. That's pretty much what Damage Con does. Now, theoretically, you could use it to repair a broken torpedo or a broken gun or something. If you wanted to, that's an option. But in general, you repair 2 or more fires. You repair a flood. You repair something that's going to deal damage to you, like your engine went out and you need to turn because this thing is about to kill you. It prevents damage. So on that line of logic, if the DCP is there to prevent damage and you're being pinged by a sub, and that ping is going to result in torpedoes that may actually come in and hit you, maybe it's a double ping so the torpedo homing is a little more accurate than otherwise, well, then you might use Damage Con to avoid damage, to prevent damage. So the line of logic is if the sub wasn't in the game and it was instead a destroyer, you know, it was instead a gunboat destroyer that's just going to shell you with HE shells and spam you and light you on fire, well, then you're lit on fire and you would use Damage Con as well. So if the Damage Con works in the same instance in both ways, that's where our methodology is at the moment. Does it mean it could change? It could change. Anything could change, but that's where our mindset is in the terms of why DCP is used for pings, for fires, for floods, etc. Because it's all wrapped up in damage together anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, yeah, I'm going to agree with him here because I've been playing against subs now for quite a while, and it used to just frustrate the heck out of me, and I would DCP a ping quickly because I was really nervous about seeing a blob of torpedoes come at me, but I started to figure out, like, okay, the ping, it'll tell you where it's coming from now. Like, you can actually see the direction that it's coming from, which allows you to figure out how you want to negotiate, like navigate against the torpedoes. Not always possible, granted, but I sort of treat it like a fire now. I don't ping, I don't rep a ping unless I see the torpedoes coming and I know the only way I can actually dodge them is by turning and breaking the ping with a DCP. It causes me a lot less trouble now. So I encourage you guys to just try and go, okay, I know where they're coming from, so I know what direction they're going to be coming at. See where the ping is on your boat and think, okay, if the torpedoes are going to be homing for that point, now I know where to put it now I know where to put it, knowing where they're going to be coming from. And then DCP it. I usually have to DCP it if it's like, if they get me right in the center of the ship, that's when I find it's the most difficult to actually dodge homing torpedoes, because if they ping you in the center of the ship, it's really difficult to sort of like swing the torpedoes out. But if they get you in the bow or the stern, it's actually considerably easier. So.
Yeah. The big thing that you need to remember in terms of this, because Chad is constantly saying like, well, once you remove the ping, you just get pinged again. Okay, sure. Once you douse a fire, you could theoretically be lit on fire again. A lot of people, if you get lit on a single fire,
said I'm paid to say that.
well, no, not really.
No, I mean, I don't have to say that. I'm telling you guys the truth.
So
I promise.
when it comes to torpedoes, it's a little different. When you get lit on fire, some people they DCP the single fire because I don't want to be on fire, and then suddenly their damage con is down. They might get lit on a single fire. So there's a colloquial wisdom, which is don't repair a single fire.
Yeah, don't rep one fire.
Yeah, don't DCP a single fire. So you would wait for a second fire before you go, okay, now's the time, and you do the thing. Same thing, if you get pinged, it doesn't mean now is the time. The torps are coming, I must do it, light the beacons of Gondor. If the torps are on their way, you'll see them, because I think the homing torps have something like a 2 to 2.2 kilometer detection, which is quite large, at which point you can see them coming in and make a decision. Is this something I can juke or not? And you might think, well, homing torps are extremely hard to juke. If it's a single ping, no. Single pings have a fairly long cutoff range from your ship, which allows you the ability to turn in or misdirect the torps. If it's a double pings are much more dangerous because they home until it's closer to your ship, which sometimes is going to be a situation you cannot avoid. That is, I see the torps and double ping, DCP, get out the way, because that is dangerous.
Repping a double ping is generally a good idea, because those torps are most likely going to hit you.
Yeah, but you want to wait till you see the torps, because as pointed out, if you damage con it and you get pinged again, well, if you see the torps, then when you damage con, you have time to avoid them before you can be pinged once more. But anyway.
And you guys, so you're saying you can't tell which way the torps are coming from. Guys, there's two different indicators already in the game that'll tell you which direction the torpedo is coming from. One is the actual indicator of when it hits your boat. The other is the thing in the water that says the direction of the submarine. Like it doesn't even matter if the submarine is going in a direction or not. That's where the torps will be coming from. So there's something like that's literally more indication than if there's a DD chasing. I understand that it's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one thing. But I'm here to tell you that I've been playing this game a lot. 11,000 battles, man. I've probably played 2,000 of those in the last year. Submarines, and I started to figure it out. It's different. That's annoying and it's frustrating. I get that, but there is a way to do it. It's not foolproof, of course, but
yeah, it's
a lot easier once you figure that out.
Once you learn the mechanics of the interaction, then you can outplay the mechanics. Because once the game is set up in such a way that it's only going to operate the way the code tells it to work. So once you know the mechanic of how the ping system works, you can use that to actually avoid torpedoes. Zorn was the first time for a while. Bonuses be available for free to play. So any place where you could get dragon flags before, like containers and such things, they offer blue bonuses now. Also, blue bonuses, the tier 3s, are available in ranked. So if you go high enough in ranked, I think you have to go up to gold, you can earn those that way as well. So each week you have 2 missions where you get some kind of basic shoe, you get some signal containers, and then that mission chain ends in a gift container, and then the longer one ends in 2 gift containers, which by itself would be 9 tier 3 bonuses per week. And then, of course, if they happen to be available through other stuff that you can earn, combat missions, event containers, stuff of that nature. But anywhere you could have gotten a dragon flag, you can find blue bonuses. And I think even on daily chains. Because I think there was a dragon flag set that used to be available through completing daily missions, and that would be...
Okay, guys, I'm going to just say this real quick. You can say in the chat that we're lying about how to interact with torpedoes. That's fine. We're not. I'm just going to say it directly. We're not lying about this. We play this game a lot. I've got 120 battles battles in the last 21 days. Like I didn't stop playing when we started working for the company. Like I figured out how you're supposed to best deal with it. You can dodge. There are times to use your DCP and there are times not to. We're trying to share with you what the best times to do it and the best times not to do it are, so that you use it most efficiently. You don't want to listen, you don't have to. I understand, but like, try to understand that we're not sitting here lying to your face. Anyway. Alright, just
Hey, 7 is in chat, so
It certainly is. 7's excellent. Doesn't sound
I don't know if that's what he does for for his main stuff, but he does sound stuff, yes. Where he is quite aware of sound and sound accessories.
Krytyczne uszkodzenie silnika.
Damn it, okay, you got me there. That's pretty funny. So, those of you who actually ever watched will know that I am a terrible. I don't think I have the trigger discipline to know when to just not.
Kapitanie, problem rozwiązany.
I'm a terrible player. It's a giant miniature. Skip leg day, just full in on chest and arms. It's big and it's thick and it's not as agile as a minotaur and
Torpedy od rufy.
giant floating citadel.
So there are
Torpedy od bagburty.
I'm gonna start dropping the smoke. I'm gonna cut the smoke along here. We're pretty much alone out here, so
Yeah, notice that. I'm gonna ask the ARP Yamato for help.
Torpedy przed nami.
no.
I need some
Torpedy
support.
od bagburty.
I think you've got 720,000.
Please tell me you're not gonna get that. I haven't been spotted yet. My RPF is out. Don't know why. So, about the Edgar, folks, the Edgar is a super mina. That means that it's just a bigger, meaner Minotaur.
If you keep hitting the south, my smoke.
I'm a smoke mina. I can't run. I can't rush up to the
Wait,
edge.
can you get radar on the Edgar? Oh wow,
Choose
that's an
smoker.
option.
If you're an adult, you choose radar, and if you're an overgrown child like me, you choose smoke. I chose smoke because, like I said, I'm terrible at
Daring. And there's probably a Holland over here as well. Don't die, Baxter.
Drużyna
Don't
przeciwna
die.
objęła prowadzenie.
3 battleships shooting. Oh crap! I don't think I.
There's the Holland.
Torpedy od bagburty.
Well,
Torpedy od
I'll
rufy.
be hard lighting the daring when he comes out of smoke. If you want to be in a position to,
I'm gonna
Do
the
crazy
smoke
stuff?
because there's 4 battleships shooting at me.
yes, please.
Again, I told you guys I'm terrible at the Minotaur. Oh, yeah, that happens.
Live, live.
I told you, it's super, super fragile. Don't you kill me. I have a stream to do. Don't do it. Thank you. Man, I'm so bad at playing the Minotaur, dude.
You gotta heal.
I have several heals, and they're good heals, but there's only so much citadel damage you can do.
So you're working on the curve first. I can outspot the Holland and the daring.
Okay.
Speaking of, there's a Holland. How much time on your smoke? Minus 40 seconds.
Like, how to play the Minotaur. I need to go to a streamer named Jake. His name is Jake from Great Farm. I don't know if he still streams or not, but Jake has gotta be. Jake has gotta be one of
Zniszczyliśmy
the
wrogi
best
krążownik.
Minotaur players I've ever seen.
Ostrzegliśmy nieprzyjacielski niszczyciel. Trufy.
no chance to also return.
Right, you're gonna lose spotting a little bit, then you start dropping the smoke line from
It's going to go straight to the rock.
here to here. Before you do that,
Wait, please don't eat this torpedo. Please don't eat that torpedo.
Хорошая работа.
so you're gonna beach.
Skupić ogień na oznaczonym celu.
I have to use a heal. Like I took so much damage in that early volley.
Can I squeeze between you and the island?
Sure. I just gotta keep the George out of my way.
Yep, I get that. I just want you to be not dead with smoke and stuff.
So sweet.
Well, I'm trying to keep you not dead.
Kind man.
How you doing, Georgia? What's
Torpedy
up,
od
buddy?
sterburty. Torpedy od sterburty.
It's now or never, huh?
Yeah, this is
Oh my god, he overbent me. Ladies and gentlemen, here's where I lost one of my torque tubes. No.
You gonna get him? Oh, you blocked my shots, bro.
Yay!
Ta-da!
You gotta be so careful.
Wróg jest bliski
I'm not
zwycięstwa.
careful enough to play it well, so do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, those planes aren't gonna be around for very long.
Has the replay bug been fixed? Yes.
Replay bug.
Yeah, remember the replay bug that was out a while back?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes, the Edgar does have an F button. I forgot. It does have a volley fire, and I did not use it there just because I really like having the high DPM.
Has Last Stand been fixed? I don't believe so. I don't think we've had an update on that one.
I don't know that we've had an update yet. Why Edgar? I don't know. Because I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why the naming convention for ships is who they are. Edgar is a dog name? Oh, okay. Any ETA on when the minimap render will be updated in Discord? No, that is put together by volunteers from the community. It is completely up to them when and how they want to handle its maintenance. Could we get a gearing with the torpedoes removed and get a radar consumable? Some gearings, IRL, did that to get better radars. There's always a chance, yeah. DDs with radar are a special breed, though, as they really fundamentally change the way that competitive is played, like clan battles and whatnot. Because DDs with radar, yeah, they can really. They're very, very good at preventing caps from being contested.
I think
Gotta be careful with them.
the Edgar's gonna be able to do anything. I don't know.
Oh, I think I saw this person in chat, by the way. We have a new CC recently brought on, who some of you might be familiar with. Clyde Plays has now joined the CC program for North America. We're excited to have him. There he is. Hello, Clyde.
Let's see if I can outspot the
Welcome to the
daring.
program. Yeah, what?
Maybe.
Nobody told you. Jake from State Farm? I thought his name was Jake from Great Farm in game. I think now his name is Ocean _ _ man. But he'll always be Jake to me. Yes, we're very excited to have Clyde join us. Clyde's a great YouTuber and Twitch streamer, so please do go check out Clyde Plays Live. It's great to have him. Jake from Subway. Yes, Potato Quality also joined us as a CC. PQ makes excellent YouTube videos. He's out there making YouTube videos on how to play just about everything. So if you guys are interested in learning how to play certain ships, especially certain ships in different methods that you probably haven't tried before, I really encourage you to go try his channel out. He uploads videos almost daily, at least once a day. Sorry, at least on weekdays is what I meant to say. So, also go check out Potato Quality, please, while you're checking out Clyde.
Too low. Yeah, he's hard bailing. But since he's spotted, to work on this guy, I'm having a pretty rough time over here.
Yeah. Perhaps where was it? Complete Potato.
I just need to communicate how I want to smoke better with you.
You like to
'Cause
put the smoke right outside of a cap in
Yes,
front of a
I
whole bunch
do.
of ships and be like, Bugsy, sit here in this smoke. It's like, I can't get that close before.
I believe in you.
But yes, if you want me to make use of your smoke, I need to know a pundit.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to communicate Bogsies. Very important. Well, might just be screwed here. Never mind, not screwed here. Loot. You needed that Yamato anyway, huh? Eh? Well, actually, hell, I still have smoke for God knows how long. Although, the daring should rush me. Speaking of the daring, there he is. How you doing, bro? Aw, that means our torps are detected. Much sad.
Yes, non sequitur, you're absolutely correct. Clyde is also going to be one of the Twitch streamers for the upcoming Clash of the Classes event, which actually an article just went out live about Clash of the Classes.
Did we get anything?
As that is a really fun community tournament that's open to people, especially who don't necessarily want to play at the highest competitive level. Clash kind of prides itself in being a more casual competitive environment. So, if you sort of wanted to take part in a tournament, but you're like, oh, COTS is a little too scary for me, I think you only need 4 people.
If you haven't seen the DD racing, it is quite cool. Well, and also I think they did cruiser racing as well. But like the concept of just 2 teams trying to sail through and around and all that stuff, very, very nice. Show us the Aquila.
Okay. We're both dead. I guess we can go back to port.
Let me cue it up. Alrighty, well, if I could have the screen, sir. So, Tier 8 Aquila. We have an Italian CV. So, she does not have much armor. That is definitely not her thing. She's got a 25 mil deck and 19 everywhere else. And in fact, if we start stripping off the clothing, we get to see all kinds of 19 everywhere, including this. Yeah. This is over Penn City. This is the Citadel. There we go. We got a little bit of 30, and we got some 80 there. So
the Aquila is made of paper.
Yeah, she's made out of.
It's made out of pasta.
I don't know. She's a wet noodle in terms of being able to take shell pens. But what does she fly? What does she do? She's got AP rockets, which get fired off in just a massive volley. It's actually quite a large reticle, which is pretty comfortable in terms of making the shot. Very, very low health on the planes, though. 1,230 health. To give you context for that, if we look at the Lexington, the U.S. line, the rocket planes off the Lexington, 1660. So almost like a third again more health, 400 more health, which is just not a joke. So your plane's very low health, but pretty decent speed, max speed of 214. And you'll notice aircraft per squadron 10. Goes out on a large flight, attack 5 at a time. So again, just a massive volley of rockets. I think they fire something like 60 rockets per volley.
A whole bunch, yeah.
But the rocket damage is not very high. It is AP, but the AP pen is not super high either. So mostly against like light cruisers. And because you only attack in 2 waves, you'll come in, lose a few planes, get your shot off, and then maybe you get to attack in, maybe not. You'll also notice that 26 aircraft on the deck is pretty massive because you are going to lose planes. They will pop like little firecrackers in the sky. So that's definitely a thing to be prepared for. You come loaded for bear, and as your ammunition runs out and the zombie hordes are not depleted, then you start wondering, okay, now what do I do? Then we move over to the torpedoes. These torps hit hard. Japanese have extremely hard-hitting torpedoes. These are hard-hitting too, but they're very slow. So Japanese torpedoes kick out around 50 knots, something like that. These kick out around 30 base. They are slow, but they hit quite hard. You can drop them close to the ships. Same issue, low health, not very much there. We have gone ahead and taken additional health for the torpedo planes because this is a sizable amount of damage, and I do want to double down on that. Plus, the torpedo planes have a heal, so that makes the heal go a little bit farther. They only come out in waves of 6, and we do have 20 on deck, so that's a little more than 3 full squadrons. But again, we're gonna watch these planes. We're gonna take some losses here, and I was playing some bottom tier, up tier kind of stuff against tier 9s and 10s, etc. And I would tend to blow through my resources in about 10 minutes if I was trying to go hard. So we'll see how far we can milk that out. In terms of combat flags, do have additional speed in case I have to reposition, a little bit of boost to the health, and also additional flood chance. Definitely want that.
Can I answer a question?
Absolutely.
Viadow says, why can't you see torpedo speed in the stats? You can.
If you look over on the other side for the port stats, you will get a more complete amount of information about the planes. So for instance, here we have torpedo bombers down at the bottom, torpedoes in payload 1, maximum torpedo damage 71.33, aerial torp speed 32 knots, torpedo range 3.5, and arming distance as well. For the commander build, I have something like this, more, faster, healthier, healthier, pretty much a base concept for anything. Don't necessarily have to go into enhanced aircraft armor, but because they are so fragile, anything that can reduce the incoming damage is a plus. Because the torps do hit like hammers, we're going to head and take proximity fuse. Don't necessarily need sight stabilization, but I gave it a shot just because it was recommended. We'll see how that goes. We could move these points into reducing the arming distance or speeding up the torps if we wanted, and then just some additional engine boost because these things go fast and they want to go fast. So I will go ahead and ready up. What are you gonna pick?
I don't know. I kind of want to play. Bismarck.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Bismarck.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I've tried really hard to make the Cherbourg.
Can I make a request?
Yes.
You not play the Cherbourg.
Cherbourg
That ship frustrates you so much. So much. It does.
It's frustrating being a cruiser with a 28-second reload, but
San Diego.
it literally has the biggest cruiser guns at tier 8 outside of the.
It does.
She and the Congress both have 305s.
Her shell patterns make me think of the Dunkirk, though.
She also has some of the strongest armor for a tier 8 cruiser.
Well,
If you don't include the nose, so it has a 30mm deck, for example, which is at tier 8 is actually unusual.
all right, you sold me.
I'm not trying to sell you.
You can play the Cherbourg.
I'm looking for something else. Just cool your horses. You know those horses?
Minister is recommending the Fenyang. Yeah. Well,
Somebody ban Minister, please.
it's got some AA on it.
How dare you? How dare you
Defensive
tell me to
fire?
play the Fenyang? How dare you? If I had feelings, they'd be hurt terribly.
There's the Atago, which
Is the Atago.
Bugsy and I were talking like.
I like the Atago. You know what?
All right.
Let's
We
Atago.
were kicking around ideas for what ships will be popular in the coming clan battle season, and the last tier 8 clan battle season we had, DDs became very popular. The Kiev, I think, on the
Kiev, the Fantastic, and Cereplay are nightmares at tier 8 for clan battles. Yes.
Yeah, specifically the Russian DD was had a heal, so it was spammy and could heal, and it would just weather down cruisers. But the Atago has a very deck with Shatter and She Shells. Also has a heal, plus there are some
They're not
super
Russian.
My second defense I almost hit 1 second.
a good idea.
We need to give mod. Oh, it did? Okay, that's cool. Woot. All right, so we're against the Lexington. Lexington planes will outscout us if he goes ahead and uses the rockets. Torpedoes and bombers are slow. And all tier 8 double sub. That's going to be something noteworthy because if we don't have anything in the center, the subs could just YOLO right down the center and we could be in for a real fun time. I will start with rockets for 2 reasons. If I happen to see cruisers that split off, the Belfast, the Takao, maybe even the Chappie, I could potentially get Citadels on that. But if I also trip across the Benson and Asashio, you can see how massive this reticle is. So if we firm this up, it's got kind of a cloud of rockets. This is 60 rockets, if I'm remembering correctly.
That is a cloud of rockets.
In that little circle, which means we can throw into DDs. We may overpen on the DDs. We may do very, very little damage due to overpens. But the fact that we throw so much means that we do actually have anti-destroyer threat, even though we have AP rockets to use. In terms, there we go. So we got the Benson. We might be able to do a little bit of something here. Also, I could slam on the brakes, and I could curl in that shot, which is something that was not necessarily removed, but not as prevalent after the reticle rework. And we took a big chunk out of the Benson. We got 57 off of them, which is kind of nice. If you are being attacked by AP rockets, you want to be flat to them if you can't bounce the rockets. Because going flat to them, this is going to overpen and deal 115 damage a rocket. If you turn, I wonder if we see how many pens we had. We had 13 pens. Pens do a little over 3 times as much damage. So when you angle, that primes the rockets and give them enough room for them to pop inside the hull, deal their full damage, and do some real oof.
You still on arc.
Good news, though, I think we halved the Benson. So the Benson's probably playing a little sus. No, okay, we took about a quarter off of them. And we don't have all the health in the world here to lose because we've already lost 1 plane. But if he wants to keep his AA on, he's going to keep himself lit for both us to shoot and everybody else to shoot. And we're coming in at an angle, so we might actually get some more pens here. He's reversing. How many pens?
Hey, thanks for coming in.
6 full pens, 6 over pens.
I had another viewer
Little more
pop
of a
in.
chunk, few
How you
more
doing
shells
tonight?
coming in, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for the Benson. Eventually, there we go. There we go. Did the thing. So
Twitch
I'll
is
go ahead and
bringing him
drop
in
a
tonight.
fighter because we don't actually have the Cossack in front. And let's go ahead and use the torpedoes. Meanwhile, we've got a sub in Bravo, so it's time for me to be hitting that dusty trail. I'm going to go toward the south where we might actually have some support just because of how many ships we've got. Do you have ASW planes on the Otago? Or yes, you do.
Yes.
So I may need you to do some anti-sub sneakiness.
Okay.
But one of the subs is in the north, so the other one is probably in Bravo. Speaking
Please don't
of,
Massachusetts me. Thank you.
Sevens.
let me do that. Let me see if I can kind of slow this
Alright, that's cool.
Massachusetts push
We
a
can
little.
deal with that.
Pop the heel early because our planes
Tens.
have very little health. And we might have to swing off onto the Takao, actually. And drop fairly generous there because the torps are slow.
Go-to shift the last week, you're working.
So I don't have a shot.
Trying to get it up to speed for clan battles here.
So if we don't hit the torpedo protection, if we hit the bow or the stern, this thing can make all kinds of tiers. The floods are fairly common.
Gonna take a break after this. You're watching the World of Warships
So you're turning out because Lexington's after you. That's
North America community stream.
And we did actually get the follow-up flood, which is great.
But now for ships and all that good stuff.
We are detected. There is a sub.
Look at that. I dodged something. Amazing.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Wow.
Are you single ping? It's actually very hard to dodge when the torpedo is running away.
It's not the easiest.
All right, so we're actually spotting them at periscope depth, which is nice. I think for a little while there, CVs were not able to spot at periscope depth, so
That's allowing me to actually shoot him with guns. He's not going deeper, which is crazy.
also okay. Plus, he's so close to the island, he may not be able to dive because there might actually be terrain underneath it.
Yeah, he's flooding out, so he's gonna be
If both those torps hit, that might be a kill. I think that's about 11,000
See radar.
damage.
6.
It is not, and actually because the torps are so slow, it misses. We're going to lose 1 plane here because we just
Awful close to
About to
theirs.
lose the second one, but can we get the drop off?
Pop right out here.
Clap this up.
Oh yeah, I read that.
Nice.
I dropped 2 airstrikes on him, and then I actually hit him from 2 entire plugs. So he changed whatever.
Well, thank you, sir. Because I was scared. I was running for my life.
I'm thinking you.
All right, so we've got an Asashio mid. To Cal and see if we can collapse C a little faster and get our Kansas MLB back into the fight. And potentially we could drop a fighter over the U-190, who we can see he's got a ping right there. We can see the little ping marker,
This could be very interesting.
so we know roughly where he is. And also, he might be pointed in a different direction. We saw where the ping was shot. That doesn't reveal the actual like bow position of the sub. There we go. And because we've got a Cossack right nearby, this dude is gonna get wrecked. Cossack have hydro?
Yes.
I like to maintain my 6, I think 6'8" with the
So
organ.
U-190 is gonna have a real tough time because he's angled. in a way
6'6".
that's Not gonna have a shot on the Cossack. He might try to just
Tough.
Nope, he's still
Especially for me being a cruiser player.
lit by hydro.
Doładowanie silnika włączone.
Yeah, he's gonna stay lit.
Pop there,
He
but
needs to work on
ASW.
need to work on this Takao and see if we can get some kind of citadel pressure on this.
Cossack is dropping.
ballsy here.
That's hilarious.
And I think actually those depth charges
There he
hurt
goes.
quite a lot and clunked
He
this
is.
Frazier. So we didn't get any citadels on the Takao, but we did get a lot of pens.
There's him.
Again, we don't have a lot of pen damage on these.
Might be
rockets.
all right
They're
here.
light rockets,
This is
but
ballsy,
they do a lot of
for sure.
damage. So it's unlikely that they're
Is
gonna
what it
be
is.
like a heavy cruiser and actually citadel it. But you will get pen damage on battleships depending on what we're shooting, and light cruisers. I think it's something like 120, 130 millimeters of pen. That you can
Maintain
actually get.
that,
So
though.
if you had like a 70 millimeter Smolensk.
Keep him. We'll
Citadel.
keep it going here.
Probably you could probably get in there and do
Get
some
Torps
damage.
headed his way,
I saw somebody.
and they've got me coming in here.
Maybe I can spot the Asashio.
About the S series of subs. Yes, there is. I believe it was put out into a devlog.
This should be interesting.
First Soviet submarine,
Just to see what they do.
189, was added to the game for testing.
Also, for those that didn't know, you can actually click on the minimap. You can click on the icon of the ship and have it like F3, you know,
Pretty cool,
attack
right?
this target and stuff, which is just so cool. I think he's slowing down a little, but I don't think I'd let enough. The torpedoes are just too slow. Oh, so close.
Requesting support.
Oh, hello, Sashio. Big tour buddy.
And this is not, well, this is actually a decent line because of how he's turning. We might get torps there. No, they're slow though. We get one. We clonked them. And, oh, it's too great. That's KS.
Yeah.
Doładowanie silnika wyłączone.
I'm too busy putting on a show. That's what I'm doing. Too busy putting on a show. Putting on a clinic.
Follow-up question for Boxy: are the British and Italian navies going to be getting submarine life? We'll see why not.
Awful close to me.
I think so. In due time, I suppose.
Gotta start at the start. Alright, so
I have 500 HP.
at this point, I think it's time. I think it's time for me to bail because even though it feels like we're winning, we are not. And we have a whole bunch of bad guys in a really small area, which means one, that's a lot of overlapping AA, so that's tough for me. And two, it means that anything that they can see, they can shoot.
That's what happens when you read chat when you should be watching the game.
And so, like Bogsy found out, one shell.
He's chasing me down.
Oh man. I don't know. I feel like there was some kind of like 3 amigo joke thing, and I just
One for all and all for me. Like about Citadels.
yeah, one for Boggs and all for God. I don't know. Need to lead better because these torps are just. They don't feel uncomfortable per se. Oh my God, we're gonna get.
On that way.
Get power clapped by this lad because I'm late on the turn. Do we get the second torp though? We do. Oh, buddy, we are gonna get dunked because you saw that the armor that we have.
Is he even okay?
sure he will
Belfast.
because, hey, look, there's a CV now.
Oh, he's very much looking at you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no way he's not.
Our sub's working on it.
Let's see. We lose
Oh,
one
here
plane.
come-
We
here
lose a
come
second
flash
plane.
shells.
We lose a third plane. We lose a fourth plane. Pretty sure those other two are gone as well.
Oh, he led you too much.
The good news is all the overpens because we are
Doładowanie silnika włączone.
All the submarine
because we only have tissue paper for armor. If
Looking
we
for
could
me.
slow the Vlad down,
This dude's
well,
pissed.
no,
This
the
is
Belfast
kinda
has
funny.
slowed too. And also very low AA, 3.7.
Yakila?
3.7 kilometer AA on the Aquila. Yeah, it's not good. Let me see. Vlad turns to avoid torps. Let's see. We throw.
Oh, I thought you were going for the flat.
Well, he turned, and the fact that he turned was good. I'm just trying to see if I can maybe somehow outrange this because we're actually dark right now. Not that we can't be relit by the CV when the CV just wants to sit on top of us, but if we can stall the Vlad and the Belfast, we might be able to. Yeah, we might be able to get a little bit of range. Mine is. Tikau's gonna go back and back cap C. That's a little tough. Kansas and Multiplier. That's too bad. I didn't realize he was using smoke. We dropped the fighter to try to spot. Probably does nothing. And Tikau we can't kill. We did get Citadels in the Tikau, so that's very unlikely. Yep. Alright, so we might be able to Citadel the Chappie. We could probably Citadel the Belfast, but I don't know.
Krytyczne uszkodzenie silnika. Kapitanie, problem rozwiązany. Krytyczne uszkodzenie silnika.
I fucked with that guy the whole time. That was funny.
I don't think the Lexington had any damage on him, did he? Chappie defensive fired. Can we find a follow-up shot? We got 12 pens. We lose probably 2 planes before we can attack again. Come on. Come on. 3 planes. We might get some kind of Citadel there. We have to stop the Tikau.
Oof.
Hey!
Bonk.
We did get Citadels there. Can we do anything with the Tikau? If he goes between the islands, we can't because, well, torpedoes and islands don't work very well.
The Richelieu is almost dead. I think he might die to a Kansas. It is hysterical watching this Kansas just run from a Richelieu that's trying to ram it.
Don't ram it, bro. Yeah. Reminds me of like the Star Wars movie with the slow chase. Alright.
What? What?
2 slow ships running away from each other.
Oh, that's not a Star Wars.
Wah, wah.
Oh no, our Kansas fired all of his HE shells into the turrets of the Richelieu. Just shoot the bow. The bow is 32. Will be penned by your HE, sir.
Nope, he just totally stopped.